Hey guys, good to see everybody. I know it's been probably a few weeks since done the last update. A lot of things been going on around the Key Player 61 Home 20. Things that just kind of beyond my control. Wife's done seriously hurt her back, and been having to take care of her and running her back and forth to different doctors and such as that. And looks like she's going to have a serious back surgery. And so if you guys would just kind of keep her in your prayers, and they would certainly very much be appreciated. But anyway, we're just going to hope for the best on that, and just to leave the matter in God's hands, and go from there. But meanwhile, I guess you can look behind me here and you can kind of see that the raised beds gardens are winding down for the summer, and or for the year rather, and we're getting ready to start the greenhouse back up. As you can see, the plants ain't got no life much left in them. So but we had a very successful garden season, and put up an awful lot of stuff, especially tomatoes and cucumbers and that type of thing. The peppers didn't do real good for whatever reasons, except the cayennes. I have had cayennes, and as you can see, the cayennes are still just producing like crazy. Which is a good thing, and all, but man, I have put up some more cayenne sauce. But anyway, what I'm going to do today is just take you through the startup of the greenhouse, getting the Dutch buckets ready, show you the plant starts I've got going, and show you how I'm going to plant those, and we'll get started on that. Okay guys, so this is the tray of plant starts I've got here that we're going to be planting today, with the exception of the collards and the cabbage. Going to let them get a little bit bigger before I put them. I'm going to do some of those in a cracky situation. I'm not going to do any of these in Dutch buckets, but I am going to be planting the tomatoes. I've got 2 big beef, 2 better boy, and the Campari experiment. I sprouted another one of those. We're going to try that in the greenhouse also this winter, and see how it does in a greenhouse situation, which is where it originated from anyway. Oh yeah, one thing I did want to touch on, guys, here briefly, for those of you that are familiar with the evaporative cooling system build that I did a few months ago. Did the complete build. There's a video to it. Any of y'all who hadn't seen it, please go check it out. It's gotten a lot of good response. And I'm here to tell you guys, this thing right here has been a lifesaver. I was able to get my seeds, actually start them in the greenhouse in the heat of summer, because I was able to keep the temperatures down enough to where it wouldn't fry the little small seedlings when they come up and all. And I tell you, I really enjoyed this. So it's giving me a chance to get started a little bit earlier, and it's going to give me a chance to keep this thing going a little bit longer before I eventually have to shut it down in the summertime for cleaning anyway. I've also made an addition to the evaporative cooling system as well. Remember, I told you guys for the time being I was going to run it off of a timer, which I did for a while, but that's not exactly, because of the times, as we lose a minute a day, after the first day of summer, times start changing, and so your sun's going to be in different areas at different times, so it's not really ideal. So what I did was I added this evaporative cooler thermostat to my setup as well, as long as I also use it in conjunction with the temperature thermostat. What that does is it allows a fan to come on and cool the greenhouse before the evaporative cooler comes on if it's not needed. In other words, if you're on an overcast day, kind of like we are today. I mean, there's a little bit of sun shining, even though it's hot enough for the evap system to be running here, because we are getting enough sun inside the greenhouse. This will allow the fan just to come on without the evap system, and no sense in running it if not necessary, So it brings it on when the temperature reaches 84 degrees in here. The evap system comes on, and it will run until that temperature drops below 84 degrees, like in the evening time when the sun goes down, and then it will cut off. But the cooling fan will still run because it's set at a lower temperature. I think I've got it set at around 78 degrees. It'll continue to run and dry that pad before the fan shuts off at night, which is a good thing to hold the algae problems down and such as that. So just a little food for thought. Keep that in mind, guys. If you are going to set one of these up, and you can run that thing entirely off of that Evaporative Cooler thermostat if you want to. It actually has a pad pre-wet feature and all that, so you can use it solely without using any other thermostat. But you know, you can operate it manually. You can, you know, let it run automatic. I mean, you can shut it down if you want to, whatever you want to do with it. But I just chose to go that route with it rather than, you know, redoing a bunch of wiring and stuff. Plus, I like the idea of the system shutting off before the cooling fan does. So if you follow what I'm saying right there, then you'll see what I mean, or the reason why I did it the way I did it. But I just thought you guys would be interested in that. Okay guys, basically what we got here is a 20-pound bag of Perlite. I believe I got this also with an order where I ordered my nutrients from Morgan County Seeds. I'll put a link to that in the description box. Basically all we're going to do is take our Dutch buckets, which we cleaned. If you saw that video, we cleaned them at the end of the growing season, beginning of the summer. And we're just going to cut this bag open right here. We've already got our paint strainers all good and cleaned up from last time. Everything's nice and clean, ready to go. And basically we're just going to, you want to do this outside, guys, do not try to do this in the greenhouse, because this stuff is very, very dusty. You will have this stuff everywhere, and plus it will make a mess. And you really don't want to breathe this stuff, so you know, go do it in a well ventilated area. And I'm just kind of just taking a little bowl here and scooping this stuff out rather than trying to pick the bag up and pour it. And that also keeps down on the dust and the mess, because I don't care how careful you are with this stuff, you're gonna spill it. So do it somewhere that you don't care that it's there. We're just going to fill this thing up all the way to the top, because when I rinse it out, it's going to settle anyway. And you may even have to add a little bit more once you're done. And that right there will be good enough for now. And we'll take this and just rinse it down real good. This will settle all the perlite in the paint strainer. And also wash out any of the unwanted debris and dust that you don't want inside of your reservoir. Want to keep everything as clean as possible going in there. You know, don't want to take any chances on anything being able to get in there and stop up your drip emitters or your pumps or anything like that. Even though, you know, I've got strainers on everything, you know, it's just a good idea. Plus you just don't need all that dust in there anyway. And now we got water running out the drain right there. Once that happens, you just kind of put a little bit more. And then what I'm going to do at this point is go ahead and top it off. While that's draining. And then we'll work that in. And once your water starts running reasonably clear, then you're good to go. Also got right at the end, tip that thing up, pour your reserve out as well. So you got a 2-inch reserve in the bottom of this bucket. So just go ahead and tip that up and make sure you pour that out too, so it stops running, and then you're good to go set it on your stand. Okay guys, as you can see, we got our Dutch buckets all filled up with perlite, all rinsed out. We got our tubes in here which I'm not going to use at this time. I will use these later on once the plants have got started good. For what I'm going to do for the time being, I'm going to dig me out a little hole here in the center, nice and neat, and I'm going to drop that down in there, nice and neat. We're going to give it a little press. Very simple, very easy to do. And what I'm going to do for the time being, until these plants get started good, is I'm going to put that drip emitter right there on top to where it will wet that, since the roots are so shallow on this for the time being. But it won't take just probably a week or two, and they'll be deep enough where I can put them in my tube right here. And the reason you use this tube is it puts the nutrient mix below the surface of the perlite, so that you don't get green algae on top. That way you don't have to use lids on top of your Dutch buckets. So let me get the rest of these planted and we'll go to the nutrient mix. And there we go. Only thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to get this reservoir started up with the nutrient mix, and I'm going to let these things settle in for a couple of days, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to take a pair of clippers and I'm going to clip out the weaker looking plants. I've got 2 plants in there in that same rock wool cube that I planted 2 seeds per hole. And what I'm going to do is just go in and cull out the weaker looking plant. And but like I say, I'm going to let them get adjusted to their environment and get started first, and then whichever one looks the weakest, I'm going to get rid of. Okay guys, got our nutrient mix all mixed up. Basically what I did on that was I doubled the amount in a 5-gallon bucket to start with. In other words, ordinarily your mixture would be, if you're using the Masterblend 41838, and the 3-part mixture with the Epsom salt and the calcium nitrate. Ordinarily with for 5 gallons you would do 12 of the Masterblend, 12 of the calcium nitrate, and 6 grams of Epsom salt. But I doubled that, and then what I do after the fact is I pour in a clean 10-gallon bucket of water. And also I add a probably about a ½ an ounce of pH up to my mixture, because that's what worked for me in the past on 10 gallons. It's usually about a ½ an ounce of general hydroponics pH up, and everything's percolating and circulating. We got the air stone working in the tank, pumps running fine, running very quiet, all the drip emitters are working, and so we're ready to start growing. Also guys, keep in mind too, something that I did not mention in one of my previous videos where I was showing you how to mix the nutrients. Also keep in mind that you need to put the Masterblend 41838, or this is true with any brand that you're using. If you're using a 3-part dry mix like I'm using, you need to do the calcium nitrate last. Always do that last. Reason being is the 41838 has got so many nutrients in it. You need to get that bonded in the water first. Let all that stuff bond inside your water, and then you add your Epsom salts next, and then add your calcium nitrate last. And you'll find that calcium nitrate will dissolve a lot quicker, and you'll prevent a nutrient lockout. So just keep that in mind. Just a reminder for you guys. Okay guys, that's going to about wrap it up for this episode here. Stay tuned for the next episode. We'll be planting out the cracky beds and finishing up the other side of the Dutch buckets. We're going to try cracky celery this year. You know, not cracky, I'm sorry, we're going to try Dutch bucket celery this year. We did cracky last year with great success, but we're going to try something a little bit different this year. But I've got to get them cut and got to get them rooted before I can get them in the Dutch bucket. So, you know, give me a week or two on that. And then we got a couple of specialty items that we're gonna try planting this year, and I'm gonna tell you who sent me the seeds, and we're gonna have fun with that and see how it all works out. But anyway, guys, I'm glad to be back here. It's been seemed like it's been way too long, but like I say, if you guys just keeping my wife in mind, you know, and just pray for her, and that she'll get better, and we'll just keep on keeping on with the Lord willing. But anyway, thanks for watching, and may God bless you guys, and we'll see you next time.